he was the wildly unlucky victim in a case of mistaken identity.
I am not Nicholas Alahverdian. I do not know how to make this clear.
He promised he was Arthur Knight, an Irish orphan whose health was failing.
I do not prefer to be called Arthur Knight. I am Arthur Knight.
Unfairly thrust into the middle of an international manhunt.
Oh,
Andrea.
no.
Police in the United States and the United Kingdom said this man was undoubtedly Nicholas Rossi, the international fugitive wanted on a rape charge in Utah under that name, but also known as Nicholas Alahverdian in Rhode Island. A man who investigators say faked his own death, fled the country, and created a new life in an attempt to avoid prosecution.
I don't have any doubt that it's not me.
But in a Utah courtroom today, a stunning admission.
Mr. Knight, can you also tell us other names that you've gone by previously?
Previously, I was born with the name Nicholas Alahverdian. In 1996, I would have that surname changed by my stepfather when it became Rossi, and I reverted to using it, Alahverdian, in 2008.
He still maintains his innocence, but Arthur Knight now says he is Nicholas Rossi and Nicholas Alahverdian.
I also felt a duty to honor my Armenian heritage.
Authorities initially identified him as someone other than Arthur Knight after he was hospitalized for COVID-19 in Scotland. Hospital workers reportedly noticed his distinctive tattoos included in an Interpol arrest warrant and contacted local police. But Arthur, or Nicholas, claimed those tattoos did not prove anything. Instead, he told a judge someone tattooed him while he was in a coma at that hospital in an effort, he said, to frame him. He fought his extradition at every turn.
To be accused of rape, it could happen to anyone.
Doubling and tripling down on his claims of mistaken identity, perhaps most famously in an interview with Dateline's Andrea Canning.
People say that's an act. Let me try to stand up. Let me try to stand up. Exactly. Exactly.
It was an odd moment, one that even surprised the veteran journalist.
That was probably the weirdest moment I've ever had in an interview, where he just suddenly is showing me, how unstable he is and how sick he is, and he's falling, and then his wife is saying that's a low blow, that I'm even questioning it, and he's supposedly on oxygen. It was just bizarre.
In November of 2022, a Scottish court ruled there was overwhelming evidence that the man arrested in the Glasgow hospital was the fugitive U.S. authorities were searching for.
That Mr. Knight is indeed Nicholas Rossi.
And that's how we got here.
Previously, I was born with the name Nicholas Alahverdian.
Nicholas Alahverdian, or Nicholas Rossi, or Arthur Knight, back on U.S. soil answering to rape charges in 2 Utah counties, after a second woman came forward when the case made international headlines. His identity is confirmed. His British accent is seemingly gone. But the pain of his alleged actions is far from resolved.
I think the fact that now he's facing the music is just a big deal for these women and anyone who says they've been conned by Nicholas Alahverdian.
Ellison Barber joins us now. Ellison, this is such a strange story. The guy was clearly a master of disguise. What else did he say about changing his name, his looks, and all these aliases?
So during this hearing, and it's a pretrial hearing that was related to bail, he was denied bail, by the way, in this case, but he told the court that he did it in part because he was receiving threats related to some advocacy work he'd done in Rhode Island years before. And when he was asked to name the people who were allegedly threatening them, he said he wouldn't identify them, but claimed there were 2 people who could substantiate those claims. One of the people he mentioned has already told a local Providence, Rhode Island paper, this is not true. We reached out to the other person who was named by him, and they said for now, they're not going to be commenting.
All right, Ellison Barber, so many chapters to this